Good afternoon. I'm just checking my settings before I jump on here, but I'm hoping that everything is great. Let's have a little look. Hello, hello. Well, we've got one screen working, so that's good. How is everyone? Now I've just got the other screen open so that I can check that I'm actually coming through. And if anybody does come in, if you can let me know if you can hear me, that would be fantastic. Oh, here's Sharon. Excellent. So she'll let me know whether whether the sound is good. It looks good at my end, so I'm hoping it is. Now, I'm sorry I was a little bit late today. I did have some appointments that couldn't be put off, so I am a little bit later than normal. You can hear me, Sharon? Great. Is it loud enough? All sounds good? You can heat me. I didn't read it as that. I just read it as that you can hear me. Obviously my eyes aren't that great. These are old glasses because I broke mine, so sometimes they don't work that well. Brenda, hello Brenda, how are you? And Sharon says everything is good. Excellent. So I don't know what the time is where you are, Brenda. I thought it might be a little bit late for you today because I am a little bit later than normal. But while we are waiting just to see who's going to come in, we'll flick through some of these screens that I do have prepared today. Where are we going? Okay, so first of all, remember that if you have bonus days coupons, they need to be redeemed by the end of the 28th. So that is 2 days away, end of Saturday. So make sure that you use those because you won't be able to use them afterwards. I do have a photo of the product of the month. It's called the Painted Illusions Designer Series paper. And that is, I think, also only available until the end of February as well. Let me have a quick look at that and make sure that I'm telling you the right thing happening now. Let me have a look. Oh, I should have shown you the preview of the March product of the month. That's pretty pretty. It's a stamp set, I can tell you that. And it's very cute, but I don't have an image. It's not going to tell me. It's not going to tell me when. I think it was to the end of... Well, it's only 8 p.m. where you are, Brenda. Well, that's not too bad. Oh, I thought it would be a bit later. Let me have a look and see if it has in here. Well, it's the February 2026 product of the month. You don't only have until February. If it's still available, if it is still available after the month finishes, then it will go in that list of still available products of the months. And you can choose to not get it if you want, or you can still get it even after the end of February if you put a qualifying order in, which is $125 in Australia. So it is a gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Now, I was thinking that, I'm trying to find myself again now. Here we are. We're seeing that it does have Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo in the colours. And it probably also has Lost Lagoon by the looks of it, or maybe that's Pretty Peacock. I could have used these for the challenge today, but never mind. I haven't even opened it. How bad is that? This is the challenge that we are working to. So Colour INKspiration Challenge is Petal Pink, Flirty Flamingo, Soft Seafoam, and Lost Lagoon. When I first looked at these colours, I thought, oh, they're pretty. But I did struggle to work with them. And I'm not sure why, but I did struggle to work with them. So we're going to flip things around a little bit today and just see what else we can do. So I'm going to be asking you for decisions. So be prepared for that. Of course, the Stampin' Stampin Positioner join offer is still on until the 2nd of March. So you do have a couple of extra days to join if you would like to get that Stampin Positioner for free. So we only have a few watching at the moment, and I'm assuming you girls are all demonstrators. So, but anyway, that join offer for anyone watching back is available till the 2nd of March. Get the Stampin' Positioner for free. We will be using it very briefly, just because we can today. Yeah, it is a gorgeous cake, isn't it, Sharon? It is a really gorgeous cake. But yes, did struggle. They're beautiful soft colours, but I did struggle with them. But anyway, we'll see. All right, coming back to me. Where is me? Here we go. So that is my homework all done and dusted, and we are going to get started. I am going to attempt to make 2 cards today, one in metric and one in imperial. I do have some things pre-done, and in fact this is quite a simple card, so we shouldn't have too many issues, I hope. It'll be the decision making that's the issue. Now I'm just going to pop some light on my craft desk, and we'll pop over there, desktop. Now, the last 2 videos that I've done have mirrored my phone screen instead of coming through the camo phone camera. So I'm going to double check it this time. Don't know what I'll do about it if it's not right. But that looks okay to me. So Sharon, just confirm at your end that that is all okay at your end, that we don't have all those weird phone symbols on there and the crop down video. It fills the whole screen nicely. So I think we're good today. I have no idea what happened. Obviously I didn't check it well enough last 2 times. In a rush, as per normal. Anyway, this is the card. So how are those colours showing up on the screen? So this is the Lost Lagoon. Then the flower is the Flirty Flamingo. The Lost Lagoon's in the leaves, Soft Seafoam's in the leaves, and I've got Petal Pink in the designer series paper and also sponged into the background here. The twine is a retired pink and silver and white baker's twine. I actually ran out of white baker's twine, can you believe it? And so I just went in and pulled up something out of my stash because none of the other colours that I had looked soft enough to go with this card. So that is a non-current product. The suite or bundle that we're using today is the Lovely Arrangements. So this is from the Lovely Blossoms suite of products. And we'll be using the stamps and the dies today. And we'll also use the designer series paper. So the designer series paper, which I didn't realise until I opened it, is a little different. It's still 12 sheets, 12 by 12, but instead of 2 each of 6 different designs, there are 3 each of 4 different designs, which is great for when you're doing classes and stuff, because you do get to make up many more kits with just the 1 pack of paper, which is great. And we don't have to stress about, oh, I don't want to cut my favourite piece up, because you get 3. So bonus. But anyway, this is what we're using. This particular die set does have the 2 things that I really loved about this die set with this particular die, which cuts out the circles, and then you can trim that up and use it in lots of different ways. We're not using that one today, but this one also is quite interesting. It's like a broderie on glaze or an eyelet pattern, which cuts into the paper, but doesn't cut the outside around. So it just cuts those little holes out of the paper and forms a lovely background, and that's what we're using today. So let's pull out all our bits, because this is the one that I made for the challenge. What I'm going to do today is make the 2 cards that I make are both going to be different, and you girls are going to choose what I do. So be prepared to let me know what you think is going to work best. So I think what we need to start off with is to choose the designer series paper. So I've got that same pattern here in both the metric and the imperial sizing, and that's a standard layer size. So that's 10 by 14.3 or 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. to fit on the front of a folded card. Today I'm making a top folding card just for something a bit different. But we're going to either use this pattern, which is what's already around here and in Petal Pink, or we're going to use the other side, which is this pattern. Because when I flipped it upside down, I quite liked this pattern. Now this doesn't fit with the colour challenge, but whatever you choose to use on the metric card, I will use the opposite on the imperial card. Hello, Wendy. It's lovely to see you here. I hope you've got your decision-making boots on, because you girls are going to help me decide what I'm going to use for the metric-sized card. And then we'll use the opposite for the imperial. So we can choose from the back side of the DSP this time, or the front side. So let me know what you would prefer. The back side, I'll just do one. The back side or the front side to start with, because that will determine what other colours we use. So let me know, back side or front side, without being rude about it. So there's a little bit of a delay on the YouTube, so I'll just keep waffling while I wait for those, for your decisions to come in. So will we use the back side, which is this floral pattern, or the front side, which is the Petal Pink eyelet type pattern for this layer here? Oh, we get a couple of back sides. Okay, great. So we'll use the back side. So that's this one. I don't know why, but I thought you might decide that. So we'll use this one on the imperial, because that's just such a stunning pattern. So now we need to decide what coloured card base we think will work best. So I've pulled out, we've got Lost Lagoon, which is quite pretty, or we've got Soft Seafoam, a lighter version, which is also quite pretty, or we've got a total contrast, which is Petal Pink. So we've got Lost Lagoon, Soft Seafoam, or Petal Pink. Which card base will we use? So type that in, and then once I know which one we're going to use, I'll then choose one for the imperial. I've got those same colours out cut to the imperial sizing as well. So we will do that. Oh, so we've got one Soft Seafoam and one Lost Lagoon. So Brenda, it looks like you're the decider. Soft Seafoam from Brenda, so Soft Seafoam it is. Okay, so that's that one. All right, so this is how we're looking so far. So for the imperial one, I've got the same three colours out, but you know what? I think, because I don't want to make the same as I made before, so I'm actually going to use tone on tone and put a Petal Pink layer in the background on this one. So that's that all done. That can just go ahead and we can glue that on, get that done and dusted and out of the road to start with. Oops. Now I put my phone on I put my computer on Do Not Disturb, so I don't know why it's dinging at me. Maybe it's my family. They're the only ones that are allowed to ding me in a live, so I'll just double check that. Yes, it's my family, but it's nothing important. So I'll just come back over to my screen. Yeah, I've got it set up so that I set Do Not Disturb, but then I also have it so that if any of my family try to contact me, I do get a notification just in case there's something going on that I need to know about. But no, they're just talking in the Wordle chat. We do Wordle with my mum and my sister and a friend, and every morning, and it's just a way of touching base every morning and saying hello and having a bit of fun. So, but yeah, they're just over there having a little chat in. I'm going to put it up this way because I've got a little bit of a mark on the bottom of that paper. So we'll put the mark at the bottom. Now, I told a lie for this one, Brenda, because I think you're the only one doing this. This one, I didn't make this 4 by 5 1/4. I made it the next size up, which I've not got my little things, but I think it's 4 and an eighth by 5 and 3/8. 4 and an eighth by 5 and 3/8. Just because I'm using the exact same centerpiece, and because the card's a little bit shorter, it wasn't working out very well design-wise. So I made this layer a little larger, just so that we had a little bit more space to work with. So I told a lie on that one. All right, I should make a note of that so I change it. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 and 3/8. I think that's right. So the next step is we are going to have a white piece that I've cut from, ta-da, the textured notes dies. Textured notes dies are still on the last chance list in Australia. Yay, and they're on special. So they are staying around a lot longer than I thought they would. But this is the piece that's going to go on the front. So you can see that it's not much top and bottom, and we've still got to add a matching layer to that. So I tried to just make this paper on the Imperial one a little bit larger. Oh. You're still stuck on today's Wordle. I can't even remember what it was, Wendy. Oh, yes, I can. That's what they're discussing, because I gave them a hint and they can't work my hint out. All right, now we get to choose what colour we're going to put underneath as the matting layer. And on this one I had soft Seafoam. So I've got all of the 4 colours here, and we're going to decide which one. Now, I will tell you that the flower colours we're going to use is still going to be the, now I've pre-done one, we will stamp one, but I'm still going to use the Flirty Flamingo. So we'll just pull one of those out just so that you can see. And also the other option is going to be the Lost Lagoon and the soft Seafoam. So they're going to be our 2 options for colouring the flowers. I had to sort of, I didn't want to colour them in all the different colours. So they're the 2 options for the flowers. So we'll do a little tester with the background. So we've got, we could go same, and we could have another soft Seafoam layer. So we'll put the Imperial one out of the road because I'll just choose that one. But for this one, do you like the soft Seafoam in there? Would you prefer to go a bit darker and have the Lost Lagoon? Would you prefer to go a total contrast because we're going to have this pink flower and go with pink? Or we could go with blue, the bluey green colour, which would tie in better with these colours. So we're talking about the background piece at the moment, or we could go with the Petal Pink. So what do you think? Lost Lagoon from Wendy? What do you think? This is keeping your attention, isn't it? Having to make decisions. But if we get 2 in a row, then that's the one we'll go with. You got 4 letters and you still can't get it, Wendy. Wow. Wow. So we've got Lost Lagoon and Soft Seafoam from Sharon. So Brenda likes Petal Pink. Now what am I going to do? We'll have to go with the first one. So that was Wendy. If we have a tie, because I think there's only 3 of you on here at the moment. So if we have oh no, it says there's 6 watching, but some may not be able to comment. But anyway, if you are watching and you can comment, please chime in because you might be the deciding vote. But right for now, we're going to go with the Lost Lagoon because that was Wendy's choice and she was first up. So she will be the tiebreaker. So we'll pop that in there like that. So I can't glue that on yet because we've got to do something on here. But over on our Petal Pink version, I'm going to have to choose a colour. And I'm not sure yet because I need to include all of the colours. So somewhere in the card to fit the colour challenge. So I'll just put them over here ready to choose in a minute. All right, so to make our little background piece then, we need to ink this up. So I'm going to ink that in the soft, I think I'll ink it in the soft Seafoam because I want it to be lovely and soft. So we will use the soft Seafoam to ink that piece up. So we'll just do that quickly. I've got a soft Seafoam, what are these called? things, a brush, a brush, a thing. A little bit of ink on there. Yes, I just chose the first one. Then it's totally fair, I think. It's not me influencing things. All right, so I'm just going to apply some ink over the entire piece. I'll just do it on here. So I've just taken the excess off, and I just want it in the middle. So we'll go around this way. Might need some more ink. I'm going to turn this up this way so that I'm spreading because of the way you rotate your hand, you apply more pressure in certain areas. So we'll just do this so it evens it all up. Soft Seafoam is a really, really light pattern. Now, if you do want to, if you want to enter the challenge and you don't have some of these colours like Soft Seafoam, then you can use a similar colour. Now, there's not really too many similar current colours to that in the range, but you could use like Granny Apple Green, but toned right down so that it's very, very soft. So you don't have to have the exact colours, you just need to have a similar colour. So I'm going to do this one at the same time, and I think that with this one, I will go with Petal Pink. So we'll do a Petal Pink little colouring on this one. Petal Pink is not one of my favourite colours, but maybe that's why I'm not enamoured with this other card that I made, because Petal Pink really isn't one of my favourite colours. It's what I call salmon. It's a salmon colour. Pretty in Pink is much more my style of pink, a nice bright pink. So we'll just do the same thing here. I'm a bit heavy-handed here. I'll go over the edge, but we'll call that a design element. I went a bit wide with my twirling around, and we'll do the same thing up this way. Like so. Then I am going to die cut these. So I'll pop these over out of the road, and we're going to die cut them with that little cute eyelet background die. Now, I will say that this does leave a bit of a mark where the edges are, but you can hardly see it on here because I'll show you. I went over it with the bone folder a little bit. Now, I'm going to move these up the top because my sentiment's going to go down the bottom. So I'll put my little eyelets up here. Grab a little bit of tape and tape that down. And we'll run that through for both of them. And can you see the line around there? I'm not sure if you can, but you might be able to. Yeah, there you can see it there. But we'll just give that a little knock with the bone folder. And I'm just going to take all my inside bits out so I can run that through again. Take all my waste out. It does make a bit of a mess, this one, because they're all tiny little pieces. I think I've got them all out. I'll pop this one down on here and do the same thing. So at this point, we're working on the exact same size piece. So you don't really have to worry too much about the measurements. It's just the second die in on the textured notes dies. Do we all have the textured notes dies? Because they have been such a well-used die in my stash. I use them all the time. And I just don't know what I'm going to do. I keep saying I'm just going to keep using them, and I probably will. I love when the last chance list means that things carry on for quite a while. Okay, right, that's that done. I'll clean that up later, I promise. I'll get rid of all the little excess bits out of these. You should see what my floor looks like after I've had a little crafting session here, because I've got a little rubbish bin tied here, but everything just gets tipped on the floor. I figure I could just vacuum it up later. All right, so this one's going over here. and this one's going on here. So I think with this one, I'm going to go with the darker background. So that's what we're looking like there, and that's what we're looking like here. Now I am going to add some splatter to these. So I'm just going to move everything out of the road for a second and add some splatter to these. So we will need these little blocks back again. And I can't quite remember which one I used for which, but that'll do. So we'll just add some ink to our block. I do have some water here, and I'm going to use my water brush. Look how dirty my water brush is. I'm so bad. So we will need just a little bit of water just to make a gloopy mess on here. Get the green one out of the road, bring this over here. And I might just grab a piece of scrap paper so I don't get water absolutely everywhere. All right, so we'll pick that up, grab a bone folder and just give it a good old tap. I love the sort of arty look this gives, just adding a bit of splatter gives it. So that's pretty good. And then we'll do the same thing with the, clean out my brush, do the same thing with the soft Seafoam. Yes, I think they will just stay on my shelf. Although, you know, I say that about everything and then tend not to use them. But then sometimes, like we had a class, oh, how long ago was that? Not long ago. And I pulled out some retired stuff because they fitted perfectly with what I was doing. And so sometimes it really helps to have your favourites around. And it's very comforting. I don't know, I find it very comforting to use an old favourite and you know how they behave and it's just feels right. All right, so I'm just going to let those dry for a little second while we decide on our flowers. So I'll bring all that back in so we can see. So we're going to let that dry. I've got the green one which is going on here and we're going to decide on our flowers. So I think I know which way we're going to go here, but are we going to put pink or green on our metric card? That's this one on the soft Seafoam. So do you want the Flirty Flamingo or this one's Lost Lagoon and soft Seafoam? So Flirty Flamingo, soft Seafoam. So which coloured flower do you want to put on the front of your card? Your card. Our card. We're all making this. What do you think? Which one would you prefer to go with? So I'll just wait for that little lag to happen while we catch up on YouTube. It's about, oh, we've got a green from Sharon, yep, and a Flirty Flamingo from Wendy. So Brenda, you're going to have to be the soft Seafoam, the green one. Okay, so we're going with the green one. I like the green one on here. I like the way it. I'm not sure how we're going to pull the pinks into this for our colour challenge, but anyway, maybe it won't be a colour challenge. All right, so our flowers. Okay, so we'll put the pink one on this one. So I have pre-done some, but we will stamp and colour one just so that you can see that process. So we'll do the Flirty Flamingo. No, we won't. We're doing the soft Seafoam, aren't we? Soft Seafoam. I'm going to stamp it in the dark colour. Now the difference here is with the pink one, I stamped in Flirty Flamingo and I coloured with Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo Stampin' Blends. I had to use Petal Pink because my Flirty Flamingo, that's so hard to say, Stampin' Blend was dry. So I couldn't use it, so I had to use Petal Pink, which I'm going to stamp that anyway because I want to show you what happens with Petal Pink. Not Petal Pink. Pretty in Pink. So we'll just do one of each. I've got all the others already done. Okay, so we've stamped them. Now we're going to colour them. Bring in soft Seafoam and Lost Lagoon. And we'll use the light Lost Lagoon. So I've got some soft Seafoam. We've got dark soft Seafoam and Lost Light Lagoon. And then for the pink one, we're going to use light Pretty in Pink and dark Flirty Flamingo. So the way that I've done this is I'm going to add just a little bit of colouring. I don't know why I've got such a big piece of paper here. It's going to knock everything off. Let's cut this down. Right, so light with me, I like to use my light first, and that's simply because it puts a base of colour down, so when I add my dark it doesn't totally grab, and I think that it blends better when it doesn't totally grab into the paper, the dark colour. So this is a dark, but in our mix today it's the light one. And then I'm going to, and you can see I haven't gone right to the edge. That gives me the opportunity to leave it white if I want to, or colour it in later and have a varying tone. So then I'm just going to follow the lines that are already on here. I'm not colouring in the middle, but I'm not being too precise about how far into the middle I go. And I'm just stroking some colour in. There's no particular way that I'm doing this. I'm just sort of following the lines. And then I'm going to come in with my lighter colour and do the blending. So now I'm going to take the colour right to the edge. I could leave it white and blend it out even with a bit of colour lifter, but in this instance I'm actually going to take it all the way to the edge and then blend that lagoon in. Actually, we're a bit far away, and because it may be a little bit blurry, I'm not sure how blurry it is. Let me come in here and just zoom you in a fraction while I'm colouring. Oh, there we go. How's that? So just blending that Lost Lagoon in to the soft Seafoam I already have down, and then I will colour to the edge. And this way I only have to colour to the edge right at the end, and there's a lot less chance of the colour bleeding outside the lines, which the blends can tend to do if you're very heavy-handed with them. And this one, you can see I'm not worrying too much about the centre at the moment. Just do around that edge a bit. Last one. So you can still see the line of the stamp through the colour, but the Lost Lagoon just adds a little bit of shadow in the centre. So that's what we've got. It looks a bit messy still, but it will continue to blend a little, and we'll fix up that inside bit in just a sec. The pink one, I'm going to start with Pretty in Pink. So this is the light Pretty in Pink. When I started colouring with this before, I thought, whoa, I picked up the wrong colour, because that is so not Pretty in Pink. That is almost like a dark Petal Pink or a light Flirty Flamingo. It's very orange. But the strange thing about Petal Pink, and a few of the other colours do this too, is it turns pink as it dries. But it obviously has a lot of the same colour qualities as Flirty Flamingo, because it starts off, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's starting to go pink here now as it dries. Very orangey up here, starting to go pink here. You can almost see it happening before your eyes as it dries. Amazing. So now I've got the dark Flirty Flamingo. the way colours react in different mediums totally fascinates me. So same thing, I'm just going over with a dark Flirty Flamingo, following those lines, adding a bit of shading in the bottom towards the middle. And it looks so totally messy. You can tell that I'm really not, don't think I must passed colouring in at kindergarten. So I'm really not too fussy, or there's no real rhyme or reason. Just add some colour and then blend. So you can see this is quite different now, quite pink. And then we come in, and as soon as you start putting this colour down in again, it all goes very orange again. But it does fade back to a pink colour, which is great. You felt the Flirty Flamingo popped. Yes, yes, I'm going to have to add colour. And I've got an idea though as to how to add the colour back into this card. The poppy colour, the bit of pop of pink. Because, and that's the good thing about the challenge, the colour challenge, you don't have to use all the colours as great big pieces. You could just add some little touches, like little embellishments or little tiny touches of one of the colours, especially if you can't quite work out how to get it to mix in. And that's the beauty of the colour challenge, is seeing how all of the different designers interpret how to put them together. Now, I'm a very literal person sometimes, and so I do tend to pull out all the colours and try and use them all. But you just certainly don't have to. And maybe in this one it will be, you'll see little touches of pink. Now, this is Colour Lifter, and I am just going to swirl around in the middle a little bit where those little stameny bits are, just to lighten that up, but still have colour in there, like that. And then I will, uh-oh, that one just went over the edge. We'll just darken up that little central piece. Luckily it wasn't the one I needed. Darken this one up, like that. And so there we have our flowers. But what I did do is, and I'll do this now, it probably won't dry enough for us to use it, but I have got other ones done, so it doesn't matter. I've got my Whisper White craft ink pad here. Now, I do have ink in the top, but it has become quite runny and I need it to be a bit thick. I don't know why it's come runny. No idea. Anyway, we'll just add a little bit more into the lid here. I've got old blender pens. So these blender pens have a fluid in them and eventually it does run out. I don't throw them away. I keep them. I use them for various different things, but one of them is I scribble all over it with white paint pen, and then I use these ones for using with white ink, because you can add little highlights, or they've got a lovely fine tip. So I'm just adding some little dots in around the edge, because especially with the Flirty Flamingo being slightly darker, because I stamped in the same colour that I've coloured with, the little dots don't really stand out. So this was my way of making this flower look finished. So you just need to work very gently so you don't end up with big blobs. Now I will tell you that the white does fade back, and on the ones that I'm going to use today I did do a second coat once these were dry. So I did some before I went out to the doctor this morning, and then I just touched them up when I got home, and hopefully they'll be dry enough to work with, because the craft ink does take a little bit longer to dry. So with the green one, some of the dark dots still show through because they stood out quite well, but I really did like that white fluffy look to the petals. You can see this one's fading back a little bit already, but I would wait till that dries and then I would put another coat over the top and then go ahead and die cut. Now, the other tip is, and I'm not going to die cut these ones now because I already have done some, but my tip is to die cut them first and then colour them with the white craft ink, because otherwise, oh, Barb's on. Hello, Barb. Are you home, Barb? Oh, good. I'll be up to see you soon. Yay. So yeah, if you run this through, even if it's a little bit wet, that white ink transfers onto your cutting plate, and then the next time you die cut something, you wonder, where did all those little white dots come from? So yeah, do them, die cut them first, then colour them and set them aside and do another coat. Now I have done some pink ones already and you can see they've got 2 coats of the white on there and they are pretty dry. That one's still a little bit wet, but dry enough for me to work with, I think, or I can hit them with the heat tool. And then I've also got some green ones. So I'll just pop those up there to dry. Now I do have others. I've got another one here because one's going underneath, so it doesn't need to have white on it. So I've done 2 for the outside and 1 for the inside. 1 for the inside, and I do have another one here somewhere with no white dots on it, and I can't find it. So I might have to use the white one with dots on it. Isn't it funny? There's always something that I can't find. Always, without fail. Oh, it's here. Are you all going, it's behind you, it's behind you? It's just up here. Oh, you can't see because I've got you zoomed in. All right, so they're my 3 for each project. Right, how are we going for time? Oh, a little bit running late. Now, this should have dried by now, so I will grab my bone folder and I'm going to flip this over and just give that a bit of a burnish. I might zoom you out. Let me remember to zoom you out. Zoom, 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 zoom. That's a bit better. Okay. So just where those lines were at the top and bottom mainly, just going to give that a little bit of a burnish on the back side. Where is the line? Can't even hardly see that one. Just to help disguise them a little bit. Just sort of flattens that little, don't do it on the front because it does leave a mark, a sort of a burnishy mark. Right, that'll do. Okay, so this is where we are up to. Now we have to make another decision. So we've got our piece that goes around the outside. With this one, you can see my matching layer is soft seafoam, but I didn't want the soft seafoam to come through, so I put another piece underneath to show through in the Petal Pink. So we can leave it showing through the way it is, or we can add another colour in underneath, and this is where you could bring in a different colour underneath. So I will trim these down. These are too big at the moment. So I will trim these down. Well, we don't really need more green in there because we're going to do green leaves and pink flowers. So that one's probably, could be pink maybe. That's quite pretty. I do like the pink. This one could be a different colour. This one could be more green, which I sort of do like the way it tones in with the sponging. Or we could bring our pink in. It's a bit too bright. What about we could bring the pink in that way. Let me grab these flowers. It's just going to be one flower on the front. So what do you think? Will I go with pink, or will I actually do like the green? Even though I'd love to bring some pink in there, I do like the way the green looks under there. It's soft and it's pretty. And I think with this one we'll stay with the pink. So I won't even ask a decision on that one. We'll go with that. So I do need to trim this down. Now I could just cut it the same shape, the same as the, cut it with the die, this die, and I probably could do that and then it could just sit underneath, which is probably a good idea. So we'll do that, shall we? I'll just grab the die. After I was fawning all over they're right here. Fawning all over them, I've gone and lost them. but they're here. Oops. It's the Klutzy Crafter. I'm lucky you can't, so thankful you can't see off the edge of my screen. So we'll just run this one through and make it the same size. That's easier. With the other one, I cut it down to be a bit smaller, and you certainly could. But we'll just make it nice and easy today, and we'll cut them with that same size die that can go in behind. Crunch. Yes, green. Everyone's saying green. Good, yeah. No, beautiful. And then with this one, we'll do the same with the pink one. And we'll pop the pink one underneath. Right. So let's glue those pieces together now. So we'll glue this one onto here with a little bit of glue. Oh, excuse me, my because I've been out, I rushed home and I haven't had anything to eat or drink. I need to rectify that as soon as I'm finished. But my stomach is giving me a little bit of lip about it. Right, so now we'll just make sure that we get that nice and lined up. And then it can go, I'll let that dry while I do this one. So if you are not a green glue girl, you could use your tape runner and just go around the edges, but just try to avoid the holes. Let me know here, are you a green glue girl, or are you a tape runner or a double-sided tape person? What's your favourite adhesive? See, if I was using tape or tape runner, I would never get it straight. I would never get anything straight. I struggle enough to get things straight. The good thing about this is if you get any overs, just a little bit sticking out the bottom here, which I don't want. I'm just going to trim it off. How can you have one bit stick out and not the other, like it is sticking out up here? Right. Now these can go straight down onto the matching layer. Not the floor mat. Green glue, everyone's green glue. Yes, yes. Yes, green glue is definitely my, and you know, I never used to be. Always used to be a double-sided tape type person. Always. I think because glue was, I just made such a mess with glue, but all it takes is a bit of perseverance and practice, really. Practice using it and not being so heavy-handed, and know know the texture of your glue and how it's going to come out of whatever you're using to apply it. It's like anything. The more you use it, the more comfortable you'll be with it. All right, so there we go. We're looking pretty good so far. Okay, so now my flowers are going to go on here now. One of these is for the inside, so pick your favourite. I like this one best. I'll get my bone folder and I'm going to just give them a little bit of texture. You know what I didn't do? Lucky I brought my stamp positioner out here. Has anyone told me what I haven't done? Lucky I brought my stamp positioner. Now this might still be a little bit wet, so we might stamp our sentiment while I wait for those to just dry a little bit more, because I forgot to stamp my sentiment before I glued everything together. But I've got my stamp positioner here. So we're going to use that. Right, so I am going to use my little, this little piece here, I'm going to stamp with, now, oh, I haven't glued it on the front. That's a bit of a bonus. Where's our stamp set? I'm going to change the sentiments up on some of them. So I've got, we use thank you on the other one, which is very pretty. Thank you, fits nicely down there. But I think we'll use hello friend and sending smiles. So we'll do two different ones. So there's sending smiles and hello friend. Then I've got a nice range of cards. So let's pull this in. I'm going to turn it around this way. I'm the sort of girl who, when she reads a map, the map has to be up the same way as the way I'm going. Who else is like that? Oh, I've got green on there. Oh, there's my little bit of green. I'll have leaves. We'll put sending smiles on this one. So we'll line this up. I'm lining it on the grid paper, so I know the bottom of the card is straight, and I've lined the stamp up to what I think is pretty straight, but who knows with my eyes. And then we'll just pop this down onto there and put your magnets down first, Cheryl. Pop this down onto there. Am I on the screen? Yes, I am. Just pick that up. And then I'm just going to let it release for a minute. I don't think I've used this stamp, so I was very patient. I didn't try and pull it up. I just let it release, and then I'm going to ink that up with what colour? Now this is tricky. I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo here because I don't know where I'm going to add the Lost Lagoon yet, and I think the Flirty Flamingo will go better with Now, I'm allowed to tell you, apparently, too, that we are changing our ink pads to felt and a new design. I didn't think we were allowed to say anything yet, but apparently we got a notice this morning that we are. There is a video, which is probably all over everywhere by now, but it'll only be 5 colours to start with. The 5 new in colours that are coming in the catalogue will be in the new magnetic style case with felt pads. Sending smiles. There we go. So that just helped me make sure I get it exactly right. Now they're photopolymer stamps, and in reality, you know, you should be able to stamp them correctly. But what if I'd misstamped it slightly and not stamped it enough and needed to fix it? This allows you to do that without having to try and line it up again. So that's the bonus of a stamp positioner. So we'll get rid of this one. We'll bring this one in and we'll stamp the hello friend. Let's make sure I've got it in the right spot. Bring this down here. Line it up with the grid paper. Might bring it up to that spotted one. Bring our sentiment in. Hello, friend. I haven't stamped this one. I should season it first. I have stamped them because I stamped them on the back of the new stamp case. Right. Here we go. And pick it up and then be patient and let it come away naturally. Be patient, Cheryl. You can do it. Be patient. Just give it a little wriggle. There we go. And we're ready to ink that up and stamp it with Lost Lagoon. Pop it in the little holes, and then there's a little bit of movement in here, so I think it's important that you pull it straight. This will only be like my second time using this. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yes, I'll have to get into the habit. I'll just pop that over there out of the road for a minute. Okay, situation saved. So now let's go back to, oops. Now, when they do that, it's great because you can just do that. I don't know where all the other bits are. Mess. While we're having a little, while I'm just waiting for those flowers to dry, I do want to show you something while Brenda's still here. I received some happy mail from Brenda last week, and I just wanted to show you this beautiful card that Brenda made. So Barb's obviously gone to be with her visitors. She'll have another one soon because I'm going to visit Barb. But this is the card that Brenda made for me. Now, I think this is the hibiscus set. And these are the little frangipanis, I think, that come in that set. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got the embossing folder in the back. Stunning, with embossed flowers painted. Love it. And it was so, my husband came racing in and said, "Oh, you've got a letter from Canada." So yes, it was very much excitement around the house that day. Thank you, Brenda. It's lovely. All right, let's see where we're up to here. I've got my cards up the right way. Yes. Okie doke. I think we can go ahead and glue these ones onto the card front. Now I'm just going to glue them on flat. You could pop them up with dimensionals if you wanted to, but my flowers are going on dimensional, so we'll just pop them up. So now the trick is here to get it in the centre. So the borders don't quite match because we're working with a die, not with calculated mats. So this is a bit wider than this one. That's the imperial, and then the metric. Strangely enough, these particular dies do seem to work better with a metric sizing. This one's actually narrower on the side and wider at the top and bottom, just because of the different size cards. There we go. On. So now let's bring our little flowers back in. Which one do I like the best out of these? This one. Right, so that's what we were up to. We were giving them a little bit of a burnish. Now, these dry enough. I'll just be very gentle with them. And then this one. My puppies are being very good. They were running around like lunatics a little minute ago. I thought, oh, I hope they're not going to be like that while I'm live. They are being very good. So I am going to just grab a couple of dimensionals. And this one's going over this one, but slightly offset. Now you certainly could have two flowers on the front. I elected to just make a feature of the one, but you could. There's another flower in the set that's a side view flower, and you could use both of them and make a bit of a multiple flower collage. Just try and get this so that you can see some of the other edges. There we go. It just looks like a double bloom. Okay, so that's how we're looking. Very monochromatic. All right, let's bring in our leaves. So we've got two different sorts of leaves. So in the stamp set, we have this stamped leaf, which you can then die cut. And in the die set, there are some standalone type leaves, and they've got little slits in them. Let's have a look at those. I have already stamped and die cut all of these, so we've got plenty to choose from. So in my original card, I stamped leaves are in soft Seafoam and the die cut leaves are in Lost Lagoon. But we can do whatever we like here, because what I've done is I've stamped off the Lost Lagoon and made, so one's for the inside, and made some nice, soft, pretty leaves. And this one is the soft Seafoam. So these are the ones that go on the bottom. So here we're about to make a decision. So whichever one you decide to go on this one, I'll put the opposite on this one. So we've got Lost Lagoon or soft Seafoam. So I'll put one in behind each, because then we're going to do the opposite in the solid leaf. So what I want you to tell me is the bottom one. Do I use Lost Lagoon or do I use soft Seafoam? You like the stamped Lost Lagoon? Yes. In the background. Oh, we got two Lost Lagoons. So Lost Lagoon it is. Okay. Good choice, girls. Stands out against the I keep losing my words, the background. I'm just going to trim one up because too many leaves otherwise, but I need a bit of a different look there. So that's going to go there. So we've got lots for the inside. And then over here we'll use the same thing, but we'll use the softer colour. So I'll just cut one of these off. It's going to go in there like that. Okay, that's looking very soft and pretty, isn't it? Okay, all right. So let's glue these into position just with a little bit of liquid glue. Now I am going to give those just a little bit of a burnish to lift the edges, and I'll just put the glue in the middle. Now normally I would position all these and then, you know, take a photo and get them all right, but I have the luxury of having my other cards sitting here to let me know roughly where I've got to put things. And this one. This is going to sit over the top like this. So we'll tuck our other leaves. Now, the other leaves, do you think we should go with the softer leaves, or should we actually have a darker leaf as in there over the soft leaf, because this is so light, it actually really doesn't matter if we have the darker leaf in here. What does it look like over this one? Yes, I'll probably have to do more Lost Lagoon maybe in here, or that might be too harsh for this card now because we have no Lost Lagoon anywhere else. That might be too harsh. So do you want the darker? Oh, now I'm Sharon. How long ago was that? Now I don't know which was which. So darker. We're all saying darker. Okay, let's go with darker. Right. Okay, so we need to add some glue to these. Now these have got little slits in them, look. So you have to be careful with your glue or it oozes out. So I'll sort of just dot it on. You could use glue dots as well here, would probably be a sensible thing to do. Oops. Whoops. And we'll do this one. And then I've got two little single ones. Well, I've lost the whole feel for the colour challenge in this one anyway, because the background paper actually has cloud cover and old olive in it. So theoretically, I would not be allowed to enter this one in the colour challenge. But I am liking the look a lot better than the one I created previously. Right, and then this can go down just with glue. Which way up does it go? Yeah, I can't remember. I think it's this way. And I'll just hold that there for a second. So I'm not going to put the imperial one together because we're going to run out of time, and I still need to add the embellishments. But you'll see, I'll either have, I don't think the dark green looks very good. I think the lighter green will be a better, softer fit for this card. So we'll go with the lighter green leaves in there. It'll be lovely and soft. This one will be a little bit more dramatic. Right, that's stuck down. I'll lift all my edges up again. For my embellishments, I did use the, I pulled out, this is on the last chance list too, or it was the other day. This is the Perfectly Pairs dies. It does have these gorgeous little flowers in here, which are another thing that I will miss. And it just cuts a row of little flowers. Now this is where I could probably bring in some pink, but I'm not sure that we really need to here. I think I'm going to stick with the white, and I'll just die cut some of those. And now I have an issue because I can't put the pink ribbon on this one. Pink twine, that's not going to look very good at all on this one. So these are the pretty little flowers that die cuts out, so we'll need a few of them. So I'll do another lot for the other card. So what I did with the card that I made, I put them on in white to start with. And then I added an embellishment into them in the pink. But again, I'm not sure that that is going to be a good choice for this one. So do I have my other? I do not. Yes, I do. All right. So we'll just place them around in the same sort of position that I did with this one. See, I've just gone 1, 2, and 3. We might have to do different. There's a little convenient dot here. That works for this one. I probably think I might have used glue dots on the other one, but anyway, this will work. One here. And we'll put one over here. The glue dots are actually good because they're about the size of the flower, so they're holding all the petals on, whereas this one, I've not been very heavy-handed with my glue, so I'm hoping that they will stay on there. And now we've got to decide what sort of embellishments to put on inside. I use the loose frosted dots. It's hard to find a small embellishment. The loose frosted dots are still around, and they have really tiny, small embellishments, which are great. But I'm not sure that whether these are going to be too dark. Let's have a little look. Oh, you know, I might run with those. I think these are pretty peacock, but you know. Hopefully that glue's come through enough. I might have to reapply the glue to the top. And then I added some extra little embellishments, just on their own around the place. Now I'll probably have to wait for my white twine to come in to put white twine in here, because the pink is just not going to cut it. But I can put that in afterwards. That'll be fine. I'll put these on. So I'll put one in here. One down here. And one just up in here. I know you probably think, whoa, those are very harsh. But I don't mind them. They sort of fit in with the darker Lost Lagoon leaves. We'll just find this little one up here. Plonk. Hopefully those flowers have stuck on there. All right, so the other option would have been to use a white. I could have used a white. So I'll do this one afterwards, but I'll add the flowers and some little, these have great little pink ones in, which will work well. So that actually worked okay. So they'll go on there, and yeah, we'll have some extra leaves in here. So this one's missing the Lost Lagoon, and this one's missing all the pinks. But that's okay. So I'll show you what I did for the inside of these other ones. Let me clear a bit of space here. So this one, not quite finished yet, but you get the general idea. And I do have some of that, I will add some of that pink twine. So I just tied a nice loopy bow and put it on with a glue dot. So that nice twine will go on there. And then this one I did get white baker's twine in an order yesterday finally. So I will add a piece of white baker's twine in there. And this is the one that I did for the colour challenge. So you can see same colours have been used, but in a different way, and you get totally different looks. So this is pretty, this is lovely and light. And what I might do to include the Lost Lagoon in here is I might take, and I don't think I brought any in with me, I might take a sponge dauber. Let me go and grab one quickly. So this might be a nice way to add the Lost Lagoon in. Get these guys over out of the road. Get my Lost Lagoon ink. And this is what I mean about just sometimes you only have to add the barest amount of a colour. So it's just in those centre bits. Just in the centres, so you still get the Lost Lagoon soft seafoam leaf, but we're just adding a bit of shading with the Lost Lagoon. Look at that. That's amazing. Wow. So yeah, sometimes so I could definitely add this one to the colour challenge page, and I will. I'll go in and add it in. Tell them that I changed it up a little bit. And this is my way of adding the Lost Lagoon in, and it just being a little tiny touch of Lost Lagoon. And it just makes them stand out from the ones underneath. Oh, Cheryl, you're a genius. That just adds a little bit of depth in there. Wow. Okay, cool. So once I add my ribbon and my little flowers and some little pink embellishments, that will be done in a really lovely soft card. Oh, proud of myself about that. All right, and so we'll move this one over to cover all my mess. So they're my cards. So imagine that with some little white baker's twine bow on there, and I think that will be very lovely. Thank you for your help, everyone, in making those decisions. It's always nice to feel like I've been crafting with someone. Now, let me come back over to me. Turn this light off. There we go. Yes, just that little tiny bit of Lost Lagoon. Really, what a good idea. I'll be able to put that one up in the Colour Challenge page. Maybe not the other one because there's no pinks in there, but I still love it. I love the blue-green tones, or the green tones. There is a little bit of blue in there. I love those and the way that they all tone in together rather than because after I made the one for the Colour Challenge, I really wasn't very enamoured of it, but I didn't have time to do another one, so it just went up the way it was. So, yes, I had to have it done for an Insta hop. So it had to go up the way it was. So now I'm happy that I've rejigged it and I've got something that I'm happy with. So thank you very much, ladies, for coming along and helping me make those decisions. I'll go back and read all the comments. Lovely to see you all here. Thank you. I'll see some of you on the weekend and some of you next Tuesdays, and then we'll be back again next Thursday. Now, I will tell you that after that, I'm on stage for 2 weeks, or I'm on stage for 1 week in Sydney for 1 week, and then I'll be visiting my mum for another week. So I may not get projects up and videoed before I go. I will try, and then I'll schedule them to go live at the same time, the 11:30, the earlier time slot. But if I don't, please forgive me. It is a little busy here at the moment, but I am trying very hard to get lots of stuff done before I leave so that everything just keeps flowing. So thank you very much, ladies, and we will see you next week or Saturday or Tuesday or whenever. Bye for now.